Imagine this sponge is like your brain. And every day this sponge keeps absorbing all the things that you are consuming. If you're consuming helpful information, your sponge will be full of helpful information. But if you consume useless information, then, well, you already know. And I know some of you may be thinking like, Alex, what is this sponge theory thing got to do with creativity? Well, it's actually got everything to do with creativity. Let me explain. Yeah. Take this lamp for example. Yeah, it's just a lamp, it's nothing special. But this lamp was once a thought in somebody's mind. It was once just an idea before that person decided, you know what, I'm gonna create this lamp. And it's exactly the same thing with pretty much everything that we see around us. It all started with just a thought in someone's mind before that person turned it into reality. Now, let me show you how things go from just a thought into reality. It's a pretty cool lamp. Here we have the idea, and all the way at the top we have the final creation. Let's say the lamp. Now this line represents creativity, and the thing with creativity is that it never goes in a straight line. It always travels in zigzags. Now when creativity makes its way to the top, it always hits these two things. The first one is problems. You see, creativity is all about being good at problem solving. You'll never go from just a thought or an idea to the final product just like that. There's always going to be something that's going to get in the way for you to try and solve or to try and figure out. Now, problems are quite easy to overcome if you focus long enough on them. Also, having your sponge full of useful information will help you solve them faster. I've done one side. That's about as far as I can go with this. The second thing that the creativity line hits, one that gets 90% of people, is distractions. The problem with distractions is that they're almost impossible to avoid, as they are everywhere. TVs, radio, video games, mobile phones, all these are designed to keep your mind distracted for as long as possible. And every year, things like social media companies, TV shows, video games, they always find new ways to try and hook you, trying to steal your attention. And the reasons distractions ruin your creativity is pretty simple, because if you're too busy consuming, then you're not creating. I love The Office. Such a good series. But now let's talk about how you can fix your creativity. Let's talk about how you can get better at solving problems and how you can make sure that you don't let those distractions distract you. Let's start with problem solving. No matter what creative industry that you're in, whether it's music, painting, filmmaking, photography, YouTube, you will always find problems that are going to slow you down. For example, when I first picked up the camera back in 2018, I didn't realize the amount of information that I had to learn in order to be able to use this camera. So every single day after work, I'll just come home and I'll watch different YouTube videos about how to use this camera, how to change the settings, how to make sure that the shutter speed is correct and the ISO and so on. I was just filling my sponge with the right information. Now, consuming the right information is not enough. Creativity comes from actually going out and doing the work. There's a very good rule that I like to live by. Learn, create, repeat. Now, for some people this may be different, but for me, I personally learn more from actually creating than just learning. For example, when I transitioned from creating photos to creating videos and trying to grow this YouTube channel, there was a lot of new things that I had to learn. But I learned most of those things through trial and error and just experimenting with different ideas. I would research all the information that I need on how to do this thing, and then straight away I would just go out and try it myself. But having the right information on how to create videos just made it a lot easier for me. But let's say that you want to start painting. The right information that you could research is what colors go well together, or what paintbrush is best for drawing thin lines, or what type of paper is best for certain paintbrushes. I don't know. You get the idea. But the more information that you have, the better your creativity will flow when you get into problems. Now, let's talk about the biggest creativity killer, distractions. You see, we only have 24 hours in a day. For majority of us, most of it is already taken by things like sleep, our jobs, exercise, hygiene routines, and eating. And that leaves us with around 4 to 6 hours of free time a day, if we're lucky. And time is something that you can never get back. Once it's gone for good. So how do you avoid getting distracted if you live in a world that's constantly fighting for your attention? Well, for me personally, the two biggest distractions were social media and Netflix series. With social media, I couldn't stop just scrolling on my phone for ages and just watching pointless videos and reading funny comments. And with Netflix, I couldn't stop binge watching different series. It was like as soon as that episode is finished, I wanted to watch another one just to see what happens next. And there's a very good reason for why so many of us are glued to our phones and TVs. And it's because social media companies and TV shows have an army of people working day and night to trying to come up with new ways to hook you so you can stay on their platforms and watch their videos for as long as possible. These guys know all about psychology, they know how your brain works, and they know how to get you addicted and always wanting to come back for more. When I realized the amount of time that I was wasting instead of creating, I knew that I had to sort my focus out. And I did that using time. You see, time moves forward endlessly. And because we never see it stop, we fall into the illusion of thinking that we have infinite supply of it. For example, when our teachers used to give us homework and they said that this doesn't have to be in for 2 weeks, you probably won't do it as soon as you get home, because 2 weeks is pretty a long time. But if that homework had to be in the next day, you'd probably do it as soon as you get home. So knowing that our time is limited kind of gives us all the motivation and push that we need to get things done. And in the past, I've actually used a kitchen timer to make sure that I don't get distracted for long periods of time. Every time I used to go on my phone or watch TV, I used to set it to the amount of time that I wanted to waste. And when that timer runs out, I had to stop what I was doing and then focus on the things that I needed to get done. And after some time, this has broken the habit of just constantly getting distracted for long periods of time. Because creativity is all to do with the way that we think. And if we let those distractions keep distracting our way of thinking, then we are literally killing our creativity. And the quicker that we stop getting distracted, the quicker that we can create our own reality. Before I go, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, supporting this channel, because we have gone past 1,000 subscribers and the first stage of monetization on YouTube. So if you want to support this channel even more, you can subscribe to the membership, where I'll be posting videos about how I create my YouTube videos. Anything new that I learn, I'll be posting on there and showing you guys how I create my YouTube videos to kind of give you any inspiration and motivation. But once again, thank you to everybody who's been watching and subscribing. Your support honestly means a lot. And as always, I will see you a lot in the next one. Cheerio.